On today's episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast, episode 152, we are going to be talking about Shroud moving to Mixer. We're going to be talking about WWE 2K20 and how it fucking stinks. And we're going to be talking about Ubisoft's investor call and how they're getting called out now for microtransactions and, games as a service and everything like that, because this might be a turning point in how games are made in general. So sit back and relax. Crack open a cold one with your internet dads, because episode 152 of Not Another Gaming Podcast is coming at you right now. Yo, welcome back to Not Another Gaming Podcast. It is your boy, Papa Dom, and we're here, episode 152. We are live and direct. You already know we got a packed schedule today. Your three internet dads, we're here for you. We're always here for you every week. Sometimes it's on Wednesdays, sometimes it's on Thursdays. Most of the time it's on Thursdays. If we had like a little pie chart, it would be like a real little slice. So we're here on a special Wednesday edition. If you're watching the live show on twitch.tv/wickedgoodgaming, please remember to steal your significant other's Amazon Prime and subscribe to us on there, because it is totally free. Because tomorrow's Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. And the man who may often be confused for like just a ghost or a skeleton, or just like maybe like a broom leaned up against the corner of the kitchen, but nonetheless one of my favorite people, the patron saint of empty fridges, the tallest and lankiest one himself, Chris P. How are you?
What's up, Dom? Wow, it's been a while since I've got like a broomstick chirp. It kind of humbled me, Usually it's like you usually build me up, like the salt and the SEO and all this stuff. But yeah, this week I'm just a broomstick, and I'm cool with that. It just brought me back down to reality. But it's
that broomstick looks like it's putting on a couple pounds.
Oh my god, this fucking broomstick's packing them on, dude. Jesus Christ. Look at him. Dude, it was wild. Like, I opened up my front camera by accident, like everyone does, and I literally was disgusted. I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" It was disgusting. But back for episode 152. Excited to be here. A lot of big things happening for the guys. Feeling good tonight. It's your boy Chris P, the tallest and the lankiest.
And yeah, you already know, Bob. I feel like I had something written down, and I don't know. I wanted to do something a little bit different. But I do like you a lot, but I can't come up with anything like cool for an intro right now. I don't know. I think I'm just like cracking under the pressure. Okay. But I have once seen Bob put the fear of God into two unsuspecting competitors over a beer pong table. I've never seen anybody like of adult age come that close to crying in real life. But I was just so glad to witness it, and I'm just so glad to have you on my team, Bob. How are you?
Did I ever tell you the story about what happened at my cousin's wedding up in Maine?
Yeah,
I must. Yeah. Where
like
we got kicked
15 times.
We got kicked out of the bar.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There were two guys at the table with the two women that were like starting shit with my cousins, and like you could take the Troisi family out of Revere, but you can't take Revere out of the Troisi family. So I'm just standing there, and these two guys come up to me and my buddy Pat, who's a legitimate lunatic, like an actual fucking psychopath, like a very scary person. And they're like, "Oh man, like we wouldn't want to fuck with you two." And we're just standing there like, "Wait, what? Aren't you guys involved with this whole fucking problem?" They were like, No, those are our girlfriends. We're not involved in that."
I love that. That.
No, we have nothing to do with this. And then
they can handle their own shit, yeah.
The two drunk women were like, "Don't fucking talk to those assholes. Don't you dare talk to those fucking assholes." And we were just standing there like, "Hey, they said don't talk to us." But I'm doing okay. I'm fucking tired. Sleep's not coming well. I feel like it's not going to come well for a little bit, but we'll see.
Yeah, I got a headache.
Yeah, I've had a fucking headache.
Not another complaints podcast. We are here live and direct. So
wait. Did you guys know?
What?
We have 4 more weeks until we're 3 years old. The podcast is 3 years old.
Wow. Dude, I haven't been 3 years old since 1955.
Honestly, that's bananas. It's really been that long, and like it's been an absolute roller coaster, as you guys can obviously talk about. When we were first out, we were talking into like Target headsets and webcams and shit like that. Now look at us, we're coming at you live, nice and crispy. The voices sound phenomenal. We've come a long way. We've come a long way.
I can give you a little ASMR throughout the podcast if you really want. How's the voice sound? Does it sound crispy?
No, it sounds fucking awful.
Q, how does the voice sound if I'm doing a little bit of this and then?
I mean, I can't hear it.
So for 152 episodes, we've been doing shit like this. So thank you so much for sticking with us and rocking with us. It's been quite the year, and it's been quite the 3 years. So, but we got lots of other tricks up our sleeves. Well, me and Chris have tricks up our sleeves. Rob has tricks like in this part of the shirt, whatever that is.
Yeah, but the chest region.
Yeah, the chest region. He's got sleeves on now, which I think are a little alarming. But I mean, we can't all be on point all the time. But
it's a nice shirt, okay?
It is kind of nice. I don't know.
I don't want to fucking rip this off.
I mean, it's no apparel from wickedgoodgaming.com/shop, but I mean, then again, what is? So we're just gonna get right into it. Let's get into a little weekend recap. If you haven't, if for some reason, episode 152 is the first episode of this podcast that you're listening to, we like to recap our weekends. We'll talk a little bit about what we're playing, how we're feeling, how we're doing. So Chris, you want to set us off and, do the honors?
Sure, bro. So this weekend, I wanted it to be a low-key weekend, but got a phone call from one of my buddies going out for his birthday, and of course I go into a bar in Boston, which I had to obviously take a long flight to get there because we don't live there. But it was a bar that I used to go to all the time when I was younger, and now I just never thought I'd step foot in there again. But of course I did. And right before I left the house, he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, it's like you have to dress up. It's a costume party." I was like, "Oh fuck! Like I can't cancel now. My buddy's already on his way to pick me up. What do I do?" Me being
3-hole punch.
But that's too easy. That's too easy. 3-hole punch gym. I can't be that because I mean everyone's trying to get away with that. So me being the creative genius that I am, I got really intricate. I ended up being a glass of milk. I just wore a white T-shirt that said "fresh milk" across the chest, and I mean it was simple, easy, free, and I really can't complain there. I wasted a white T-shirt, but fuck it. I mean, just buy another 12-pack at Marshalls. We're good. Yeah. And then it wasn't really too fun being there, but I got through the night. Of course, it was his birthday, so I felt obligated. As for what I've been playing, I have been playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. As of right now, I am not having a good time, and I'm just not having a good time. And I don't know why. I thought for some reason that I wasn't gonna get super angry playing this game because like my anger issues started with Call of Duty. So obviously when it came out, they're gonna kick back in.
Right.
So here I am, first day on launch, knocking the shit out of my desk and everything. It's just there's people camping. The claymores are broken. First of all, the claymores are the strongest things in the world, and there's people camping everywhere. They're in corners, they're behind cars, and they're in windows like a fucking puppy waiting for the family to come home. And it's so irritating. Just play like a normal fucking person. But that's what I've been playing. It's okay.
I'm
not enjoying it right now.
Get it out.
I'm still going to continue to play it, try it out, but I'm not really waking up in the morning like I used to be like, oh, I can't wait to play Call of Duty. I have nothing to do today. Like I don't even really jump at the bit to play much besides when my friends are on.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Bob, what about you? What are you playing? How was your weekend, my guy?
My weekend was okay. I got my flu shot last week and I felt like shit literally since I got it. And it just started to subside like yesterday. So I laid super low on Friday. Saturday, I had my buddy Matt's wedding. So shout out to Matt and his beautiful wife, Izzy. Congratulations, guys. It was a beautiful, small little wedding. And I'm okay with that. I was okay with like a 50-person wedding instead of some of the enormous weddings we went to this year. But yeah, it was cute, cozy, quaint. I'm running out of CQ hard C words here for this. Yeah, but it was fun. And I've pretty much just been playing Counter-Strike almost exclusively. I am just about done with Bloodborne. I have 2 bosses left. I have the quote unquote final boss Gehrman, and then the optional final boss Koss, I believe it is. And I've been trying to grind through the Chalice dungeons, which is like the procedurally generated bonus dungeons that you could farm for blood gems and shit. And they're not as good as the main game, so it's really kind of turning me off right now. So I might just finish Bloodborne finally. And also, if you guys didn't watch the stream on Monday, we played through some of the GTFO alpha. And
I forgot about that.
That game is actually really fucking fun. So shout out to Chris was there with us, and shout out to Steven Scrap. We jumped on. We played a couple hours of the GTFO alpha. I think it goes live again tomorrow, so we're going to be trying it out again. And we're going to try to get a little, preview, review content up after we do a little streaming. So I still got to finagle some OBS layouts for it. But GTFO, if you can get it in the alpha, definitely do it. If not, whenever the next beta comes around or the subsequent alphas, definitely check GTFO out. That game's pretty fucking fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. Dom, what about you? How's your weekend? What are you playing?
Pretty good weekend. Really jam-packed weekend. Nice long weekend. Self-imposed long weekend. Went to D.C., went to our nation's capital, and got to see some sights there. We got some friends that live out there. I have a friend who works in the government, so we got to get some cool tours and stuff like that, like one-on-one tours instead of putting a headset on and following around a group of 90-year-old people, taking pictures with iPads. So it was nice to be able to see a part of the country that I haven't seen. We've done a lot of international traveling in the last couple of years, but I haven't really seen a whole lot outside of New England, of our own country. So it was nice to get out there, so that was pretty cool. As far as what I've been playing, it's been a lot of the Outer Worlds, and by a lot, I mean not nearly enough. I can't get enough of that game. The Outer Worlds, if you don't know, Obsidian, the people behind Fallout New Vegas and a whole lot of other just fantastic role-playing games, came out with a open-world role-playing game. It's single-player. There's no fucking subscriptions, no microtransactions, no freemium shit, no nothing. None of that. None of that bullshit. It's just a phenomenal game, and I really haven't even reached the tip of the iceberg yet. I feel like I'm only a handful of hours in. I haven't skipped a single line of dialogue since I started that game. I'm just infatuated with the world and all the lore that surrounds it. And it's just I feel like it's what we as fans of open world role playing games deserve. It is just overflowing with shit to do. The customization, the mods, and everything else around it, for modifying weapons and armor and whatnot, is just super robust. And again, have not even scratched the surface. The NPCs and the world around is just super rich and really well fleshed out, and I just can't wait to play more of it. It's just like you were saying, Chris. I haven't woken up every day and been I really want to play Call of Duty. That's how I am with the Outer Worlds. I go to work and I'm thinking of that game. I wake up and I'm like, fuck, man, I might want to wake up a little bit early, sneak in a little playtime, like I used to do before the school bus. You know what I mean? Try to get a couple hours in. But yeah, it's just great, and I'm pissed that my 9 to 5 schedule isn't as forgiving as it used to be.
Wait, school buses were invented when you were in elementary school?
Yeah, no, they were horse-drawn carriages.
Horse-drawn carriages. You have to send your carrier pigeon to see how close the bus is.
Yeah, I mean, and Kenny was just the fact that no microtransactions is a bar we have to measure on release games now is actually insane. It's not even a bar. It's just something that I don't have to worry about. It's just a nice...
Just wait, dude. Just wait. Give it another 5 weeks, and the new Call of Duty is going to have microtransactions.
It's just this is something that I really just appreciate, that it's just, there's nothing really else to... I don't have to worry about logging into the game and then getting a prompt to see a premium pass to be hey, you want to pre-order next year's content? No, I want this game to have multiple years worth of content on the disc like it used to do, so that I don't have to buy a new fucking game like this every year. So overall, The Outer Worlds is just absolutely fantastic. I cannot get enough of it. If you have Game Pass on PC or Xbox, you need to stop listening to this podcast right now. Download it and then rate us 5 stars, but then stop listening to the podcast and then go download The Outer Worlds, because it's free on Game Pass and PC Game Pass if you have that. And if you don't have that, it's a really great deal. And I don't get paid to do that, but I paid like a fucking $1 for it when they rolled that over, and so I didn't pay anything for the Outer Worlds, and it is one of the best games that I've played in a very long time. So
really, do you mean that genuinely? That it's one of the best games that you played in a while?
it is yes, absolutely. It is a breath of fresh air when it comes to open world role playing games. You know, Bob, I know he's just as big of a Fallout guy as I am. I got a Fallout New Vegas Collector's Edition right over there, and I play with the poker chips all the time. It is on that level of just rich, well written. And it just feels good to just soak in a new world around you without having to worry about all the other like bullshit like infrastructure that comes along, you know, with today's game. So it really, 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 really is good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're not alone on that, just because obviously we live in a time where people are quicker to point out the negatives and things and the positives. That's just kind of how things go. And doing what we do, we're everywhere. We're on social media. We're in the comment section. We're watching videos. Like, you name it, we're there. And I've really yet to see much negative feedback on the Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
No, everything I've read or looked into about that game is, hey, this is the Fallout game fans deserve.
Right. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, the long and short of it is, and it just starts out just as vaguely as pretty much every other game that it pays homage to, and you wake up from like a cryogenic sleep, and you get basically shot down onto a planet by like this crazy doctor who needs you to help him fix something, and then it's just from there, the order in which you do things is up to you, and you're in like a section of space where every planet is owned by like a company. So it's actually kind of funny that there's no like microtransactions and season passes and, you know, corporate greed soaked into every fucking pore of this game, because that's kind of the basis of the story. Like, you land and there's like this space cadet with like a broken leg, and he's like, oh, I'm just going to try some of this Spacer's Choice medical serum because it's the best a space pilot can get. And like, he's like quoting corporate slogans while he's like bleeding out to his death, and you're like, dude, what is wrong with you? Just inject yourself with this shit. But it's just funny that's like the it is a genuinely funny game too. There's a lot of dialogue options that were really killing me, but really good.
The trailer was even fucking hilarious.
Yeah, really, really good. And I feel bad because when Outer Worlds got announced, I immediately glazed right over it because I was like, I don't need another open world game. And I mean, me and Bob have talked about this at length a billion times. Like, there's just too much to do. There's too many open world games as a service, blase blah, that are out right now. And every time a new one gets announced, I'm like, fuck. I just want to beat something. I just want to be done with something. I want to have a sense of completion. And that's why I keep telling you to play through the Metro series.
I'm gonna do that. The first two are pretty straightforward, like on rails. Go start A, go B.
Yeah.
I think Exodus is a little more opened up. However, I think it's more like a hub area, like a wider opened hub area than the other game.
But yeah, I think a lot of people are getting a little fatigued with the live games and live games as a service, which is a great segue into our first topic, because it's not just us, it's not just the consumers that are getting a little tired of games as a service and microtransactions, because on Ubisoft's investor call last week, Ubisoft CEO, I think his name's pronounced Yves Guillemot, noted that like he's well aware that like Ghost Recon Breakpoint was strongly rejected by a significant portion of the community, unquote. And then he basically acknowledged openly that the reviews have all sucked major ass for Breakpoint as well. There was a lot of vocal investor concern over live service game fatigue and just microtransactions and overall like over monetization of a game that people are already paying money for. So where we've probably talked about that, I mean, this is like, it's a dead horse that we have beaten back to life and death over and over again. Hey, thank you for the sub, Higsta. We've beaten this horse to death and then like defibrillated it and then back to life and then beaten it to death again. But it seems like this is something that investors are starting to take note of now. And we used to think like, this is what their investors want. Their investors want games that you can just juice over and over until people are sick of spending money on it, and then you release a new one. But now Ubisoft's own investors are going, people are fucking sick of this shit, right? Like, are you going to fix this, or are we going to just keep doing this whole same merry-go-round? So, Ubisoft has acknowledged this. Ubisoft has had a great track record in the last calendar year up until Breakpoint, which is what makes all this like fuckery with this Ghost Recon game, which is also used to be one of my favorite series, so surprising. They had John Bernthal and his Pitbull on stage at E3, for Christ's sake, who's a very good boy still, regardless of how bad the game was. But now they're like super backtracking. They're pushing back some AAA titles and like giving major overhauls to Breakpoint. So, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, do you think that we're at a turning point now? Do you think that maybe this is the first of many dominoes to fall where game developers realize that we're sick of this shit? And do you think that this is going to impact the way games are made from here on out? Like, do you think this is actually like some forward progress?
I mean, it confuses the shit out of me personally, just because every time we've complained about a game with their microtransaction and just really jamming some sort of monetary item down your throat, at the end of the day, we always thought, like you said, Dom, it was the investors and the shareholders from behind saying, fuck it, just like beat the shit out of them, get as much money as you can because the game has a shelf life, and we'll just move on to the next one. Now, seeing that the shareholders are like, what the fuck are you guys doing? They're finally realizing that there is a connect between not charging anything and still making hand over fist money, because not for nothing, the long-term effect of you really jamming stuff down the consumer's throat is they lose faith in you. First of all, they get sick of you and they don't buy your products going forward. It literally all it takes, even if you want to continue your microtransaction, give people a couple games with none. On the third, go for it. Try it out. If you lose traction from there, that's on you. But when you do it consistently over and over and over, people already know what to expect. It's like Bob talking about Call of Duty, right? Which I can talk about how much I love the franchise as a whole all I want. But the truth is the truth. Microtransactions exist, and boy, do they. But people lost faith in it, and there's people now that don't buy anything that they put out, nor would they buy anything going forward. So in the long run, they're losing more money than just not having a fucking 99-cent red dot fucking skin or reticle, whatever you want to call it. They're starting to realize that. So going forward, if it's just a domino effect, as is everything else in business. You see one company doing something that affects consumers in a positive way, it dominoes, and everyone's going to try to emulate that, because someone's going to be like, oh, Ubisoft is doing no microtransaction now, or they dialed it back completely. People are loving that, and now they're pointing out the little ones that we have. We have to go all in on that too. So it could be the first domino to fall over before the ultimate domino effect of everyone really trying to follow suit. If it works. Which, I mean, why wouldn't it? But we'll see.
Yeah. Bob, what do you think?
I think at this point in like the gaming industry, it's going to be 50-50. If you are releasing an annual franchise game every 12 months, or even not even every 12 months, within a 2-year time frame, you need to be able to understand that people don't want to, one, pay $60 for that game, to have to pay $60 again for just a newer iteration of that game, on top of having microtransactions jammed down their throats. So if you're going to do annualized games, maybe cut back on the microtransactions or the, season passes or all that shit. If you want to make it, it's 50-50. You either do an annualized franchise or you do a game as a service that you expect to get, 6 years of content out of, instead of jamming 6 years worth of content into a game that's going to have a shelf life of 12 months.
Yeah.
You got to split it down the middle. And I also think that here's a tinfoil cap. Put your tinfoil hats on, everybody. I think that Ubisoft has been ahead of the curve for a lot of recent trends in the gaming industry. I think when they gave Assassin's Creed the revamp and they took a couple of years off to get a new game in the series going, I think that is setting a precedent for other companies to do the same.
Yeah.
And knowing from what they said at their conference call, if they're pushing games back, like delaying releases because they want to focus on, giving consumers the product that they're purchasing, I think they're going to have to continue with that. Maybe instead of doing like the Assassin's Creed every 1 to 2 years, they're going to put it at 3, and then they're going to, stagger a Ghost Recon game in as well. So you know how like Call of Duty, Activision has the 3 services that create Call of Duty games.
It's 2, right? Treyarch and Sledgehammer or Infinity Ward.
That's the 3: Treyarch, Sledgehammer, and Infinity Ward.
Oh, okay. Well,
so you know how they switch off, like one company creates a game and they'll release that game every 3rd year. I think at this point, giant companies like Ubisoft should just pick their 3 key franchises and do one of those every 3 years. So like year 1 they do a new Assassin's Creed, year 2 they do a Ghost Recon game, year 3 they do a Watch Dogs game, and then again at year 4 they come back to Assassin's Creed. So in that whole time period, you're getting that games you could essentially do a game as service in a 3-year time period, because after that you could have content for 3 years. Guess what? Year number 4, there's a new Assassin's Creed game coming up.
Yeah. And you know what I think could play too? If they did that kind of model that you said, I know it's the precedent and like it's the base, I guess, price for a game, which is $60 now, or kind of give or take. What if they really cut the price of a game and everyone knew that game was supposed to be released cheaper and have a shelf life of X amount of years, and in that time you would have the option to expand on it? Because personally,
they're doing the exact opposite right now. That's the thing. They're selling games at retail price of $60, but they're cutting content from the game. They're doing the complete opposite. They're cutting the content, leaving the price the same, and they're releasing unfinished products like another game we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. And that's perfect. I don't know, why isn't it happening the other way? Think about this. Would you guys be upset if they released a big time game that you were looking forward to, somehow slashed the price in half? You bought the game for $30, right? And throughout that process, they released like every year, right? It was like $10 worth of stuff that you genuinely wanted to buy. So after that 3-year lifespan, shelf life, whatever you want to call it, you spent what you would have spent at first without having to add on top. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I don't think anyone would.
No, because you're going in with a predetermined expectation already. Like sure, I'll give you $30 now if you're going to give me 3 years of $10 season passes. There you go. There's your $60. You have me hooked on a player base for 3 years, in your player base for 3 years. Sure, that makes plenty of sense. The only thing is, corporate greed exists, and the fact that companies are getting away with releasing unfinished products at retail, at full retail price, and then stacking on microtransactions and season passes and premium shit, they're getting away with it. But I do agree that I think people are getting fatigued with it. We're having a renaissance in first player games that, we talked about last week on the podcast. There's a breaking point, no pun intended. There's a breaking point.
Nice.
And I think we're coming to it, and I think Ubisoft is going to spearhead this.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
Industry.
And really, really quick, Lorenzo, thank you for the 14-month sub, boy. Much appreciated. And just on a related note, Bob, I'm actually going as a major game publisher for Halloween. Can I show you my Halloween costume real quick?
Do you just have a briefcase that says "We want more money"?
No, hold on one second. Hold on.
I really can't wait to see what this is. Oh god, what is this? Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
How are you?
It's me, the CEO of Ubisoft. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 without a season pass. Yeah. So this is me. This is what my Halloween costume is. I'm gonna see if I can fit my headset back on.
I'm not. I don't expect.
There's no chance in hell you'd be able. Oh, there you go.
Speaking of no chance in hell, thank you for the great transition.
Speaking of hell in the cell.
Speaking of no chance in hell, Vince McMahon's theme song, and speaking of corporate greed, because that's Vince McMahon and Hell in a Cell. I'm gonna try to thread I don't want to take the tape off the mustache. There we go. That's kind of we'll go from there. So, so speaking of corporate greed and unfinished games and no chance in hell. There is somebody's literal personal hell right now is trying to just complete a match of WWE 2K20 without the fucking wrestlers clipping through the stage, outright bugging out like crazy, or just in general looking like any semblance of a competent AAA first-party game that makes use of one of the most valuable licenses on the planet, which is World Wrestling Entertainment. So 2K20 or WWE 2K is a pretty... They've been around since, I want to say 2012? 2K12 maybe-ish. That's when they started to do like the regular serial or annual like 2K WWE series. It's been around for a few years now. The last couple years have not been... I don't think they've all been great. I want to say last year there was a couple of big issues. The year before that it was all right. But it's had some problems for a little while. And this week, hashtag fix WWE 2K20 was trending on Twitter, and Sony even, I think it was today, Sony was offering refunds for 2K20 for people who were issuing complaints. So I was looking at Eurogamer, and Eurogamer had literally somebody had tweeted like, it took me about 10 seconds to get my refund for 2K20, so chances are you should just probably do the same. So yeah, I mean, we can just kind of like circle the wagons again, but 2K issued your typical cut and paste statement, which I'm sure that I could probably recite with my eyes closed. But we're listening closely to the feedback that's been shared regarding WWE 2K20, and we're aware of the concerns some players are reporting. We're working hard to investigate these concerns and address them as necessary. We expect to have an initial patch ready in the next 2 weeks with others to follow. Stay tuned for blah, 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 more information. So stop me if you've heard that before. But yeah, so corporate greed. Am I right, guys?
I'm pretty sure we talked about this with the last NBA 2K game that came up.
We did.
Right?
Fix 2K20 was already trending this year for NBA.
Yeah, now 2K isn't even going to do their whole like NBA. I don't know if it's the same thing, but there's some sort of like online league that they're not even going to release this year on 2K. But on WWE 2K, that game is a pile of shit. My lord, you want to talk about just get it out? That is the epitome of it, because that's not a game where like some things are just like aren't working like they should. These are big time fucking things. You're telling me someone rolls out of the ring and it looks like they're getting electrocuted by the ropes. That's something you see in testing.
Chris, can I ask you something?
What?
How many times have you been told just get it out?
Just get it out. More than I'd like to admit. But I've seen plenty of clips of that game, and I think I could develop a better game. That is wild, and not for nothing. The graphics on this WWE compared to like, I don't even know, SmackDown versus Raw in 2007.
Great game.
The graphics are like the same. They might even be worse this year. The graphics look like PS2 graphics. Well, they're terrible.
As the CEO of 2K Games, Chris, for Halloween, this is what I'm going as. I can assure you that we hear your feedback, and we'll be actioning on it in a patch that'll be issued in the next 2 weeks. The patch is going to be 82 gigabytes.
And it's going to cost you $12.
You have to
you get a free red dot sight on Triple H on Triple H's Sledgehammer.
A free pair of red shorts on your created wrestler. But I mean, I die laughing at some of these clips that I'm seeing on Twitter because it just looks fake. It looks like it's all it just doesn't look like it's real. What can happen? You're gonna pile drive someone through a ladder and you just disappear into the ladder.
Yeah,
it's like just little things, dude. There's games that are like fucking so low budget that are just doing all of what you're trying to do just better than you are. Good.
No, go ahead, please.
Oh no, I was just wrapping it up. Really, it's a valuable fucking license. The drop of the ball on this. I mean, I'm no diehard wrestling fan anymore, but I used to be. I used to love wrestling. Don't get me wrong. But if I was, and if I was playing this game, I would literally fucking shit in my palm, whatever that means. But I would just be so upset, so fucking upset.
Lorenzo, it's still real to me. God damn it. Yeah, I mean, all in all, you're absolutely right. I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. But the fucking dude, the saddest thing is that we could cut out, if you just blanked out the name of the game that you were talking about, we could probably copy and paste this over like 9 different episodes of the podcast that we've done in the last 6 to 8 months. But I am here to reassure you.
Oh God, please don't say it.
That we are working on a fix. We hear your concerns.
Thank you, 2K. Thank you, 2K CEO. We appreciate it. We hear
problem.
Guess what? We hear you too. Thank you so much.
No problem.
You know what people have been complaining about outside of just the horrendous glitches that occur every single match?
What?
Like Chris was saying, the downgrade in graphics. They were saying that the WWE 2K game that came out 3 years ago had better visuals than this.
Oh my
God. People were claiming that this was like a last gen visual nightmare on top of all the fucking glitches. I was watching I might have been Jim Sterling I was watching when he was discussing it, and you just see wrestlers teleporting across the fucking screen.
Dude, that's a new ability, bro.
Okay, well, this is a wrestling game, and everybody knows wrestling is real, and
there's no teleporting in
real life.
Still real to me, goddammit!
Dude, yeah, but how disappointing is it if you are like a real diehard wrestler, like wrestling fan?
Dude, I used to love wrestling games. They're still, not now.
Dude, the N64 every N64 wrestling game that came out 23 years ago is better than what released last week.
Dude, what was your favorite wrestling game ever growing up? That was actually the second part of this topic.
What was it, SmackDown versus Raw on the N64?
They had Raw on the N64. They had like WWF Raw and then Raw 2. SmackDown versus Raw was on PS2.
Oh, okay, that was the one then.
Yeah, that was the one I was referring to. I liked SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. That was one of my...
Was that the one with Brock Lesnar on the cover?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, did he look like a fucking psychopath?
Dude, those games were so sick. I remember when I first got internet, I was like... When my house first got internet, I was literally... the whole idea of typing in a website was so foreign to me. I had no idea. I was trying every wrestler doc. I think that's the first time I saw porn too, but I forget what I typed in, but I was like, yeah, type in SteveAustin.com, type in theHottieBoys.com, and then I typed in TheRock.com, and I think it was just dicks on the screen. And I think that was the first time I saw porn. But I used to love that shit, and I don't know if this is it, but kind of in the back of my mind, this is what I think of. When we grew up watching wrestling, it was PG-13. As time went by, years went by, they appealed more to the PG audience, and literally there was no swearing, there was no bra and panties matches anymore. It was really for the kids, and now they're ramping up again to try to make it the Attitude Era type time, and they're trying to make it for the older demographic. But when you put out an incomplete game like this, that's literally a dumpster fire. It makes me think of all right, fuck it, these parents are just gonna buy games for the little kids anyway. Just get it out. Let's just start making money.
Yeah, I was a big fan. I don't know if you guys ever played it, but I've told this very sad story over and over. But as the kid in high school or late middle school, early high school, who had a GameCube instead of a PS2. I missed out on SmackDown versus Raw until I could go over to my buddy's house later in the afternoon and go play it. But what we did have on the GameCube first was WWF Day of Reckoning, which was fucking sick, and it was easily the best storyline I've ever played in a wrestling game. It was unbelievable, and if people are playing it right now, actually, it might have even been WWE at that point. And WWF. It was just... Yeah, I always default to calling it that, but it hasn't been that for the majority of our lives. WWE Day. The
majority of Chris and I's lives.
Oh my god. Anyway, it was fucking amazing, and just a fantastic technical on a technical level, and just unreal on a story level. And if you used to play it, salute to you. But yeah, so it doesn't have to be this way. 2K, it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to be this way. Just give us a game that's finished, please. Give us a game that fucking works when you open up the box and you
Dominic, we appreciate the email. We hear what you're saying, and I promise you we are working on a solution.
No, you can't make promises because then it's expected after that. You have to say, we're working on a solution.
We are working on a patch sometime in the near future. And it might be
within
6
the
days,
next 12 months,
6 years, 6 months. We will work on a fix.
For only $9.99, and you get a free month of WWE Network.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. That's actually tinfoil hat, real quick. Let me just grab the tinfoil hat. The WWE Network thing is going to get rolled into a solution is going to get rolled into like a mea culpa. You're going to get a month free of WWE Network.
Fucking brilliant.
But you still have to put in your credit card information, and it automatically resubscribes every single month.
Yeah.
Triples every month if you subscribe.
My God. But yeah, bring that back. Give the license back to THQ. Are they still in business? Probably not, right?
No, I don't think so. No.
Well, I tried, guys. I just, we try to be the idea guys. Sometimes they pan out. Most of the times they do. Sometimes they don't. But yeah, so get your shit together. Get all your shit. Get it all together, and give us some fucking finished games. That would be.
Get your shit together. Get all your shit. Put it together.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Just get it the fuck together, because I have just had about enough of even having topics related to this on Spotify's number one gaming podcast, the number one gaming podcast on the internet. Really, when you think about it, we have other shit to talk about. You know what I mean. And speaking of other shit that I want to talk about, Shroud is moving to Mixer, and yep. Oh.
Sorry, I just had to bring up our tinfoil chalkboard.
Yep. So Shroud has moved to Mixer. He released a little. Did you guys see the video? The little like announcement video that he did.
Yeah, it was sick.
It was pretty.
I genuinely enjoyed it.
It was pretty funny. He was like this super intense. Like he's like walking down this wind tunnel with the super intense music, and then who I assume is like his wife is like, "Hey, honey, what are you doing?" And he like takes his headset off with the music in the background, and he's like, "Nothing, just making some moves." And she's like, "All right, well, me and the cat miss you," and like go like this with the cat. Benji, we miss you. And so yeah, it was a pretty good ad, and he's going to Mixer. Ninja commented on it as well and said it's a massive move for the platform in the streaming industry. And that even in and of itself is kind of wild, because back when Ninja moved, like, was it only 2 months ago, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
August. So back in August when he moved, Shroud was saying like on a live stream right after he moved, he was like, "It's all me, baby. You got to take advantage now." So they must have threw that motherfucking bag at Shroud as well, and he deserves it. The dude is a pro's pro. But right after, just seconds after he got announced, or after he like made this announcement, Twitch already had stripped him of his verified partner badge, and his channel got basically like deplatformed. On Twitch, like it stopped showing up in search results and stuff like that. They said it was an accident, but they also said that about like putting porn on Ninja's channel, which definitely wasn't an accident. So, but yeah, so Twitch left. Ninja left Twitch in like August, and then his like badge and like he was out of search results like right there. He still has like 43 million followers, but I guess it is. The
whole way they stripped Shroud of it, it's kind of mind-boggling to me, because they literally gave him like a send-off on all social medias, like, "Thank you so much for all you've done." But I guess at the end of the day, like, business is business. You jump to the biggest, well, not the biggest competitor, but another competitor.
That's definitely the biggest competitor.
No, it's not.
No,
so
it's not. YouTube gaming is.
Yeah. So let me get into it already. So the market shares of like live streaming as a whole, Mixer only has 3% of that market share.
Yeah.
It's 3% Mixer, 5.3% Facebook gaming, 19.5% YouTube gaming, YouTube, and Twitch is 72%.
Wow.
So Mixer isn't even the biggest competitor by any
means.
Facebook
gaming is that much bigger?
Yeah. Well, Facebook gaming is like 2% bigger than it, but YouTube, it's huge.
Dude, I would never. Yeah. All right. Just keep going. Sorry.
All right. So it's huge. So I'll get kind of more into the logistics of what I looked into. So those are all the market shares of. That's just kind of how they compare live hours watched per platform. But since Ninja joined Mixer, him as a person, like, you can't judge a person off of what their viewer count is, because a lot of the times that's not really how they generate majority of their revenue. They do get some, but it's not all of it. So Ninja's concurrent viewers decreased. And then Mixer's market share after Ninja jumped to their platform. So obviously they bought him out. Everyone thought like, oh, they're going to go after this huge streamer who's going to bring this huge community. In return, our numbers are going to get bumped up. Their number in the market for live streaming platforms did not move at all.
No.
It did not move at all. So it makes you think, was it kind of what kind of move was it? But this is also coming from a company who made $10 billion last quarter.
Right.
So to throw out this amount of money, it's really a drop in the ocean.
Yeah.
You want to know why? You want to know why, like, the meter never budged? Because the people that already have Twitch accounts and were watching people on Twitch also already had Mixer accounts. They were probably just inactive.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that it just explodes all of a sudden that, just new people all of a sudden are going to start making Mixer accounts and watching and, putting eyes on our platform. It's funny to see that the whole numbers and statistics behind it, because when people were like spamming at Dr. Disrespect, like, oh, what do you got? Are you going to make the move next too? He was like, absolutely not. There's no reason to. I'm getting more concurrent viewers right now than Mixer has combined. Like, why would I want to do that?
Yeah.
Why would I separate myself into a smaller pool with this? He didn't say this. This is me, kind of reflecting on what he was saying. But why would somebody want to put themselves in a smaller pool with the biggest fish that just left the bigger pool?
Yeah.
I could tell you
what's the point of that.
I could tell you why. Security. You get a salary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's 100% true.
Bag.
Like,
yeah, I mean,
that's beyond what.
I mean, that's why these
being
people
a top tier streamer is, though, because right now, they're making their money off of ad revenue and they're making their money off of sponsorships. Donations and subs come, secondary to ad revenue and sponsorship deals.
Yeah.
If you already have that shit lined up on Twitch and you're getting the viewer base and the community, is growing with you, it's
and you get
tough
more
to
flexibility. Yeah, you get more flexibility to kind of like grow your own personal brand too. Like, I'm sure he wants to do other shit. And, not for nothing, but like when I turned on my Xbox to go play The Outer Worlds, which is out now, when I turned on my Xbox when I got home from work, one of the first things, dead smack center of my Xbox dashboard, is Shroud is live right now. Watch him on Mixer. You met the bajillion people who have Xboxes in their living rooms who turn it on. The first thing they see is Shroud is now live. Come watch. And you hit A once when you turn on your Xbox, and you're all of a sudden tuned in. That's just like, you can't buy that. You literally can't do anything except get bought out to have that type of exposure.
Yeah,
but it's not paying off though. That's the thing. You're not getting more eyes on that other platform.
But he's still getting. But I mean, they are both definitely making money hand over fist, probably more than what they got from Twitch.
Yeah, but that's outside of their viewership and their community. Sure. That's all speaking of corporate greed, that's all corporate level right there. The money that they're making.
But I don't think, of course, these streamers are making dumb money. Like, there's no question to that. Shroud and Ninja make fuck you money. Yeah. And that won't change. They'll continue to do that. That's what makes me think they're not necessarily chasing the money. They're not chasing the bag. They're trying to get some fucking time back.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. They're trying to free themselves up. Ninja wants to be a gaming celebrity now. So him not having to stream as much, it's fine. He gets it's your opportune cost, right?
Yep.
You get to go out there and put yourself in different positions and generate money other ways besides sitting behind your computer. Exactly. It's even to the point where Mark Cuban tweeted about it. Mark Cuban said, look at the numbers that you stream per day. Look how many hours are in the day. Who would want that job?
Right. It's tough.
I mean, it would. I mean, Shroud's 25. Ninja's 28. I mean, I don't know the numbers to the whole thing, of course, but Shroud said in one of his streams, I would not go to Mixer for less than $50 million. He literally said that on his stream. So cut it in half, right? Cut it in half. Cut it more than in half. Say it's $20 million that he got. He's now has the security of $20 million for a 2-3 year contract, and he gets to put himself out there and grow in other ways than just streaming. Yeah. But then you watch the kid, he's not having an absolute blast in behind a computer. That's not really, in my opinion, he was a competitive gamer. He's not like a big time streaming personality, even though he's great to watch. I love Shroud.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you got to be a certain type of personality to really genuinely like enjoy that that stream grind. And we'll see like a lot of like kind of fake disingenuous tweets that's like, make sure that you're performing for one viewer the same way you would perform for 1 billion viewers and blah blah blah, like, because it's exhausting.
Bullshit.
It's exhausting. And we do the show once a week, and we stream here and there, aside from that, but it can still be really taxing. And for somebody who, and like Ninja and Shroud are both married, I don't know if Shroud is, right? They're both married. They both got like a family that they probably want to start too. And, a career like having to grind nonstop, and especially where you're like, just think about like the physical aspects of it. I mean, you're sitting there like your legs are atrophying, you're probably getting fucking scoliosis every 8 seconds. You know, your eyes are probably killing you. It's not, you know, obviously it's not the same as like getting your head smashed in on like a football field, but your body is going to get taxed in other ways. Yeah. And if you don't have to grind the same way and you can get guaranteed money so that you can continue to grow your personal brand, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think there's, you know, it's not like he starts every stream by saying like, you know, go buy an Xbox One right now. I'm sure that there's Xbox ads on his thing, and you know, you're on a Microsoft platform, it's everywhere. But then again, you know, if this allows them to free up and make more like dynamic content, you know, free up some time so they can kind of take that grind element away from a career that anybody on this platform would probably give their fucking left thumb to have. Fucking more power to him, man. I'm happy for him.
I just came up with the fucking greatest idea for staying in shape and being a streamer.
Stream on a treadmill?
Dude, you know those fucking Peloton bikes that cost like $900 and they have the screen in front of you with the instructor that's like putting you through everything? Give me one of those. Peloton, if you're listening, give me one of those. Give me access to Wi-Fi and I'll stream on that, and I'll stream like mobile games or something on it.
I mean, that'd be great. I think it would. Too much exercise for me, but the idea is there. Another idea I had, if Microsoft's doing this, it's only a matter of time before Google throws their hat in the ring. Excuse me. There's only a matter of time. Like Twitch just bought out. I always fuck the guy's name up. It's like Nick E or Nick A, whatever it is. Yeah. He came over to Twitch, but it's only a matter of time before YouTube throws their hat in the ring.
YouTube doesn't have to do anything. YouTube, I anticipate.
Well, Facebook YouTube is Google.
Mixer,
yeah, I know.
Yeah. I anticipate Mixer, Facebook Gaming, and Twitch doing this whole fucking juggling of what's it called? You know, talents that they want to buy out and sell and trade and swap. Like it's a fucking professional sport. All of a sudden, you're getting traded to teams and being drafted.
It is.
I think YouTube is the underlying network that never needs to make any of these changes, because one, guess what happens when all of these people go stream on Twitch and Mixer and Facebook Gaming? All of their fucking clips go to a YouTube channel. Everything they have, they go to their official YouTube channel for VODs. YouTube gets to sit back, fucking kick their legs up, you know, fucking toss their legs up real quick, you know, go ahead. Well, you guys go ahead. You go to Mixer, do all that shit. Make sure you bring your VODs back to us.
Yeah, so we can get our ad revenue.
We'll get that fucking ad revenue.
That's sweet ad revenue.
They don't have to. YouTube doesn't have to do shit.
Thanks for the ad revenue, baby. That's what YouTube sounds like.
I don't know, man. I think as a whole, it's a good move. Of course, there's going to be a lot of kind of backlash towards people that are there, like fuck the move, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, they're doing it for themselves. They're doing it for their family. They're doing it for the longevity of their brand. Because at the end of the day, we don't know how long live streaming is going to be a thing. We don't know how long live streaming video games are going to be a thing. So at the end of the day, you have to start making more than just a streamer brand from yourself. You have to put yourself out there. You have to try different things and use the platform that you currently have to build other businesses. And the only way to do that is to free up more time. Because as of now, I mean, I looked up the statistics. Shroud streamed for 184 hours in the past 30 days. So it's around 8.3 hours a day, which is like a little over a normal 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But you can say it's the same thing. You're sitting down in front of a computer, depending on what your job is. But it's tiring as shit. You're entertaining people all day for 8.3 hours a day.
Yep.
And it's fucking exhausting. Like Shroud tweeted today that he couldn't stream for the next couple of days because his back's all fucked up and he had to go to the doctors because something's the matter with his back because he's been sitting and all this shit. So, I mean, you can't compare it to a professional sport by any means, but it definitely takes its own toll on.
Yeah, I mean, there are similar like trials and tribulations there. I mean, it's a similar level of drama. You know what I mean? Eventually, one of these days, we're gonna get like they had like the NFL head coach and like football manager 19 or whatever. We're gonna get that with like esports manager 19. You play as a
Yeah, they're coming out with that. I think we talked
They
about
already
that.
have that for League of Legends for the Riot 20 anniversary, or not the 10-year anniversary.
God. Well, I hadn't heard of that, so I'm going to count that as a prediction.
How do you feel?
No,
about
I mean
this
like you
comment?
manage a streamer. It's just like one-on-one. Like you're a streamer's significant other and also their manager, and it's
Mod.
and
You're a mod.
you got to work. Yeah, you're a mod man, dude. If there's like not a game on Steam that's like Mod Simulator 2019 already, then
There's
I don't know what are we even doing here.
There's one on Steam about being a YouTuber, YouTuber simulator. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep.
So here's a comment I want to just kind of put into the air because in my head it kind of makes sense right now, but I'm not sure if it's gonna. When you have these big time streamers on Twitch currently, right? They're at the age now where some of them aren't the most kid friendly streamers of all time.
Yeah.
And you're seeing people that are getting bought out. Like, not Shroud really isn't the most family friendly, but he's more family friendly than a lot of other streamers. Ninja is a fucking softie, so all his stuff is, of course, very family friendly.
Yeah.
These companies buying them out. So we'll just say Mixer for now, right? So the only way to be able to tell if this is actually making sense is if after Shroud gets there, give it a couple months, see if that market share changes a little bit. If not, I feel like they're able to make more ad revenue as a company just because less people are targeting younger demographics of people. Because when you target the millennials, they like the older end of things, they have jobs and they have money to be able to pay for things. Mm-hmm. So sometimes advertising to those people, your cost per click is higher just because it's a more targeted audience. I feel like they could run more ads for cheaper with family-friendly streamers because they're able to target to not really much of a tapped demographic. So right now, I think they're going to start targeting really family-friendly streamers. My next person is Pokimane to Mixer. That's my next pick.
Oh, all right.
That's my next pick.
All right. Can you see, like, I mean, I don't see the appeal as much with YouTube gaming and Facebook gaming. I mean, I think for me, like, seeing if like my mother was like scrolling down Facebook and all of a sudden it's like watch Dom live right now on Not Another Gaming Podcast and sees our three mugs on the screen, like I would hope that she would just scroll right by it. But no, I think it's kind of weird for me because if I barely use Facebook as it is. When I scroll down and see like it's like, hey, you Facebook liked World of Warcraft back in 2008. Here's somebody who's streaming it. I am not compelled to stay on the Facebook app and watch that. I do watch some YouTube videos. I could probably count on one hand how many YouTube channels I regularly follow. But I've never watched a YouTube gaming live stream. Actually, except for the Iron Lords podcast. Shout out to the Iron Lords podcast because they do go through Google Hangouts and YouTube gaming as well. But they're the only ones. They're the only ones that I've watched and participated in. So I don't know. I just can't see that same crossover appeal happening where it's like, come watch me on YouTube, unless you're like fucking Jake or Logan Paul or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think the reason for that now is those are going to be kind of multifaceted platforms instead of Mixer and Twitch that are literally only for live streaming. So it's the turnover on it isn't going to be the easiest in the world to be able to draw those crowds in. Because not for nothing, I barely watch TV anymore. I watch YouTube. It's like it's taking over television. For me, at least, I'll tell you that. So at some point when my thing is you follow the person, you support a person, it doesn't matter where they go. If you genuinely support someone, it doesn't matter where they go. So if someone I genuinely enjoyed, so like say Not Another Gaming Podcast, which is the best podcast on the internet, went to YouTube, you bet your fucking sweet ass I'd be watching it there. Like it's the people, not the platform. So I think if there's enough people that have that kind of cult following, go to certain places, and it brings those people with them, I think it's a slowly but surely thing, but it's not as quick as everyone's thinking. Like, all right, get these huge people, and overnight we're just gonna flip over and be the platform of choice. I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. I feel like it's a little bit different for us too because you can find us on all your favorite podcast platforms, obviously, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Overcast, and now Radio.com and iHeartRadio. But it's a little different because you can just listen to us anywhere. That's why I actually kind of glazed over knowing that ILP was on YouTube Gaming because I listened to them on Apple Podcasts. So for streamers, like for somebody who will like go to a content creator as though they're watching their favorite regular TV show, that might be a little bit more big of a deal. Like I would like to think that, you know, like the core group of folks in our community would like just follow us wherever we go. But then again, who knows? I don't know. I mean, it's free to install these apps. It's not like I got to pay $5 to go follow us on Mixer. Granted, if you steal your girlfriend's Amazon Prime and subscribe to us on twitch.tv/wickedgoodgaming, it's free. But, you know, there's a little bit of give and take, I think, to that. And I could definitely understand and see both sides of it. You guys want to land the train?
Land that motherfucker.
All right, let's land this train. So, as you may know, you three internet dads, we love you. We do really love you. We do. It's episode 152 of Not Another Gaming Podcast, and Chris, you're gonna kick us off. Let's land this train. Who are you gonna shout out?
So, believe it or not, I do want to give a little sentimental shout out. And before you say it, I am stone cold sober, so this is not drunk talk by any means.
Oh God, it's his ex.
No, baby, just unblock the number. Just unblock the number. But no, everyone that's really been with us since we started, I want to shout them out. We built a cool little community, and it's genuinely like having a bunch of eat friends that you're able to hang out with day in and day out. Granted, some of us are local, some of us are in other countries. It's been really great, and with us three, there are genuinely good things that could happen, and regardless of how good it is, if things work out, if things don't work out, it's been a fucking blast, and we'll keep doing what we're doing just because we have a pretty solid group of people there. But hopefully it does happen, but we'll keep everyone posted.
So fucking cryptic.
I mean, I'm not going to say it. I can't say it. I wish I could just fucking air it out, but the last thing I want is for me to say something, then it not happen, and then
I gotta stretch so bad.
I have to
Before Chris panics and says anything more than he should have, which is already everything. Bob, what do you got?
Oh my God, I gotta give a big shout out to everybody who tuned in for the GTFO stream. Shout out to Chris for joining us, and me, Steve, and Strap when we had a nice little stream on Monday. We're gonna try tomorrow to do it again and get some commentary going for it. So stay tuned at twitch.tv/wickedgaming to watch us perform or attempt to make it through GTFO. That game is not easy.
No, not at all.
It's not easy, but it's fun. I had a good time with it. It's like Payday meets Left 4 Dead meets Dead Space. Wow, that is like the perfect way to describe that game, actually. And shout out to 10 Chambers for letting Kyle, aka Flex King, aka Noodle Arms, and I join their ambassador program. So we'll try to get some content out there for you. Shout out to my buddy Matt and his wife Izzy. Congrats, guys. Congrats on the beautiful love and the wedding. It was nice. Thank you for inviting me and letting me be a part of that wonderful day. And also, stay tuned. We are hopefully still going to do the Twitch Idol competition in November. We kind of have a lot of shit going on right now, so we may have to postpone it for the time being. So we'll figure it out. Just follow us on all social media platforms, and that's where Dom picks it up, so we can give you all the information possible.
Yeah, we can do that. We won't count any more chickens. We have counted far too many chickens already. So we'll just we'll leave it at this. As a co-founder of Wicked Good Gaming, we'll be issuing a statement.
Oh my God.
No, but in all seriousness, big shout out to Dolly's thing is in like a week, isn't it? It's next week.
This Saturday.
Yep. Check that out. We've been including the link in the show notes. The Boston Bruins alumni, is going to be helping to put on a charity hockey game to raise money to fund research to prevent SIDS. A good friend of the show tragically lost his son not too long ago due to that terrible disease. So we want to make sure that we can help him out as much as we possibly can. So make sure you check that out. I'm going to have that in the show notes. Great cause, and it's definitely something that we feel really strongly about. And we want to make sure that you guys can get informed as well. Big shout out to everybody here in attendance. We've got lots and lots of good stuff still coming up. We're supposed to have a guest tonight, but some time zones got mixed up, so it's like 6 o'clock his time, and it's a whole big mess, but we'll figure it out. We'll get him on next week. But anyway, if you are listening to us still and you like the show, make sure you subscribe to us, twitch.tv/wickedgoodgaming. You can steal your girlfriend's Amazon Prime, subscribe for absolutely free. You can also find us on any of your favorite podcast platforms. So that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Overcast, Radio.com, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff. And it is my solemn promise to you that if you can't find us on any specific podcast platform, that I will issue a statement within 6 to 12 weeks and issue a patch to rectify it. No, but seriously, I will definitely get us on a platform if we're not already there. So otherwise, make sure you go to wickedgoodgaming.com/shop. Check out all the merch. We don't do it for our health. And you need something keep you warm. The cool months are coming up. Make sure that you keep on the lookout for any suspicious Halloween candy that might contain, like free
edibles?
drugs or some shit.
People waste their edibles.
Dude, edibles are so fucking expensive. You think they're gonna be dropping them in kids' candy bars? Get the fuck out of here. Dude.
Make sure you don't see any. If you might accidentally. I opened up like a little fun-size Reese's cup and there was a machete in there. So you never know. Dude.
You gotta look out for that shit.
Fucking wild.
I found an active hand grenade in my Swedish fish bag.
Oh my god, dude! You never.
There's a grown man in my Wappa's package.
Oh my god! An M16 or what an F-22 fighter jet was inside of my little box of Trick cereal this morning. It was just really not great. Somebody gave out cheese sticks and Junior Mints one time, and I think Vambi egged his house. Well, listen, we love you guys. We'll see you next week. It's been episode 152, you internet dads. We love you very much, and we will see you real soon.